Hey guys, I just wanted to get on here real quick and answer some questions that it seems that you have. Um, Let me get the name right. It's Paradise Found 17 that left me a message or a comment wanting to know a couple of things. She wants to know how all three of my family members were able to have surgery on the same day or how we could afford it. And how did our insurance cover it, and as well as um, well, that's pretty much it. So let's answer the first question: how we were able to afford all three of us getting it done. Not a simple thing at all. Um, the reason that this happened was I have an insurance company different than my parents. I have one insurance through my work, and my mom and my dad have insurance through her work, which is through a hospital insurance. So it's a little bit better than mine. Um, it was very confusing. My insurance that I have has never ever um, agreed to pay for a weight loss surgery. They have that rep. If you talk to anyone that lives in Hawaii, they know that. They don't like to pay, especially out of state surgeries, especially for weight loss. And I was going to California from Hawaii, and they don't pay for that. I mean, it was the impossible case. In fact, the doctor's office, when I told them that I still wanted to apply for it, the girl actually she laughed at me, and she's like, "Well, don't get your hopes up, honey, because this isn't going to happen." Eventually, we got it submitted to the insurance company, and I did a lot of fighting with the insurance company. I was thankful enough to get a girl that was um, very understanding, very empathetic about what I wanted to have done. I also had all my research ready. So when she started throwing things at me like, well, why don't you do it here? And why don't you do this? It was because, first of all, in Hawaii, they don't do the vertical sleeve. Second of all, they cut you wide open. And I heard recently that they just changed to laparoscopically, but I did not want to do the surgery completely wide open. I was in enough pain just doing it laparoscopically. Um, Anyways, my insurance finally did approve it. They decided, hey, she obviously has done her research, and the girl told me a little bit of a secret. She said, you can have surgery anywhere you want to. So that's why I went there. The difficult part with that was that um, they don't pay up front for it. So I had to pay for it ahead of time and get reimbursed for it within a period of a couple of months. So that's what we're trying to do now, is get the reimbursement. Um, my parents, their insurance would not cover the vertical sleeve. They would only cover the gastric bypass, and that or the Roux-en-Y. That seems to be what Paradise Found is saying too, that her insurance company won't cover the VG. So um, what they did too was, I mean, well, they got the gastric bypass because that's what their insurance would cover. On top of that, it seemed to help that my mom worked at the hospital, because the hospital was having this thing for full-time employees that said, if you're going to go get the gastric bypass or a weight loss surgery, we're going to pay a percentage of that. Well, my mom only works part-time, so she was able to talk to them, and then they gave her a discount too. For the total for all three of us, um, the doctor also gave us a discount because all three of us were doing it on the exact same day. He was going in for one day of surgery, and all three of us were all going to be there. So he gave us a little bit of a discount because it was the first family he had ever done in altogether. The total for all three of us having the surgery was $18,000, which is pretty good with all three of us because because usually it's actually I take it back, it wasn't 18, it was 16,000. And usually the cost of a surgery for one person out of pocket pay with this doctor is roughly about $18,000, they say. So basically, all three of us got it done for under what one person pays. It was just a combination of a lot of different things. If you're willing to work for it, there are different ways around it. I don't know what type of insurance you have, but HMSA was the insurance company that my parents had that would not cover the vertical sleeve, and they're associated with Blue Cross. And I think they're associated with someone else. So there's a couple of companies that have the same guidelines that won't cover the VG because they think it's what's the word that my doctor used? He said they think that it's they think that basically it's not safe yet, that there isn't enough research for them to actually say that. But so far, it's been the best for me, and I definitely think, Paradise, that if you want the VG, you sound exactly like I did after I found out all of that information about HMSA and after I read about all the different surgeries. The VG was the only one for me. I did not want the gastric bypass. I did not want anything else done except for the VG, and I am so glad that I did. Let me see if you had any other questions. I don't think you did, but definitely work for it. If you have any more questions about different things you can do, let me know. But definitely, if you can talk to your insurance company, and if you've done your research, just try and find someone that can overlap it or give you the okay to do the VG. Go for it. Just go for it. Talk to them, drown them with all your information, and make it impossible for them to say no. My dad had actually gotten to the point where he had talked to someone at HMSA that had agreed to give him the VG as well as my mom. But that person was going on vacation the very next week, and the doctor didn't get back to him fast enough. So that got right out the window because the next person didn't agree to that. So make sure that you talk to the right person. Keep calling if you have to. Just do whatever you have to keep doing it. Don't take someone's word for it that an insurance won't cover it. Fight for it. And I think that I'm a prime example for that because of my insurance never, ever accepting a weight loss surgery and people telling me that it was a waste of my time to actually try and fight it. So definitely do it. I can't say that enough. And for anybody else that's hearing this and wants to, that is having the same issues, fight it. And eventually, you will get the insurance companies to do it. And that's exactly what my doctor said. He said, I can't do anything as a doctor. They won't listen to me because I'm just one of the doctors in a million that are trying to do it. But you guys have the power to try to overturn them and, get them to see that the vertical sleeve is the way to go compared to the gastric bypass. And the stuff that my parents are going through, and I honestly don't know if it's because of the gastric bypass or because of their age or because whatever it is, but I know that I'm doing a whole lot better. So I hope that people fight for what they really want out of this weight loss surgery, because I'd hate for people to go and get the Roux-en-Y or the gastric bypass and be miserable afterwards and thinking that maybe they should have just waited, or maybe they shouldn't have gotten it, because that was definitely the reason that would stop you, that definitely unmotivates you and you feel miserable. So hopefully that answered your question. And now that I'm reading at the end of this that Paradise's name is Ginger, sorry about that. if you have any more questions, if anybody else has any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Keep on watching.